gentlemen, welcome to Smoking Ash.
It's your girl, E.L. Berkeley.
I'm Horny Tone, Aries season in effect.
Oh gosh, is it Aries season?
It is Aries season.
They will let you know.
We were going to let you know. We do fine things at Smoking Ash. We talk about hot topics. We talk about things you want to talk about. We talk about things we want to talk about. We keeping it real as long as we can keep it real.
Right. So
hopefully you done found yourself a drink. You done found yourself something to smoke. You got something you want to speak on your mind, or just want to reach out to us and tell us your thoughts, your ideals. Remember, it's our show, but it's your topics. It's your thoughts, your goals, your dreams. And maybe your girlfriend is cheating on you. Maybe your boyfriend is cheating on you. Maybe you're the one doing the cheating.
Oh, shit.
Because some of y'all motherfuckers.
Hey. Yo, Tom trying to take us straight in it. So, before we get in, we always like to shout people out that support us, and we support those that support us. So, shout out to Bailey's Tax and Accounting Services, LLC, power couple, husband-wife team. They are awesome. Now, for my fellow entrepreneurs, especially if you are new at the game, you definitely want to have the right accounting people in your corner. So I learned today when we were getting our stuff set up for our taxes to be done, and we really appreciate it because they picked up for us. So we appreciate that. So she was running down the checklist, and I forget what question I asked, and she said, you need to look at your business checklist. So she sent it to me. So I just want to share. So make sure if whoever is doing your taxes, I would suggest if you have any assets, don't go and get the program. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to be disrespectful, because I'm sure it's a good program. If you have basic taxes, okay? But don't go get the computer download and think you can finagle yourself. People get degrees in this for a reason.
That means they spend money to learn how to save you money. Exactly.
So let me hit you with the business tax checklist. It has categories. So one is your business information. So your company name, your EIN, and the date started, the industry that is in, the address, and the type of business. Type of business, is it an LLC, an S Corp, sole proprietorship, what have you. Your income information. So gross receipts or sales, inventory, 1099, and returns and allowances. Then you have your expenses. Now here's where it gets, where you got to pay attention, and this is why you got to have people that know what they're doing. Okay, so your advertising, payments to contractors, did you issue them a 1099? Legal and professional fees, supplies, rent, which is equipment and office supplies as well, travel expenses. So I'm an author. If I travel I got an event coming up May 17th in Newark, Delaware from 12 to 3 at Delaware Technical and Community College. So when I travel there and pay whatever for gas mileage, I'm writing that off. Okay? So charity, your cell phone, taxes and licenses. I had to pay for my business license this year when we went live in July. Boom. Okay, so equipment, any journals and magazines, repairs and maintenance, automobile expenses. This is where your mileage and your and actual expenses come in. Bank fees, insurance expense, which is non-medical insurance. Office expenses. Yo, ink is expensive. The damn ink costs more than the printer cost when I bought it. Okay? So internet expense. Meals and entertainment, utilities.
Partying, drinking, alcohol for the show.
Interest, whatever your stuff.
Cigars.
Right. But like legit. wages paid, hardware and software, professional organizations, and other expenses. So you need a professional to tell you if your business is operating also at your home. Guess what? A portion of your they take percentage. So your cable bill.
Cable bill.
We have Horny Tone over here has tier 1 auto detailing. That a portion of that water bill is going to be written off. So just shout out to Bailey's Tax and Accounting Services LLC.
Shout out to VNS Lane.
Yes.
For your entertainment needs, if you like to bowl, punch the machine, a little pool, I just like to sit down and play a good game.
Chess.
Get a few frames of bowling in.
Listen, the old people being there playing Pokino and chess and poker, like it's a safe space, y'all.
Hey, listen, we got a shout out to the tag place. My lady, gonna explain that to you.
Oh man, personal. Go see your girl Kia. You in the tri-state area, especially if you are in Philly. Go over see Kia Personal Auto Tag. She got 2 spots over on Front Street.
Good people.
Good. Listen.
If you have to get your tags done, you need a notary public. You need anything. You want to slide by that tag place. And guess what?
They get bill paid. Like they
get
do all
your
types
bill
of stuff.
paid.
You get your lottery ticket over there.
Win a lottery.
Listen.
TV giveaway.
Look.
She covered it all.
Listen. You talk about community minded. That's how businesses used to be. Community minded. All right. So go over there. What's up? What's up, Leg Up Bricks? What's going on? Hey.
Yo, let's just go ahead and jump into it. We've already gave some shout outs. And remember, Dark Papyrus.
Dark Papyrus Productions. Listen, your girl E.L. Berkeley, go hit me up in my DM if you want to purchase books direct. I'm also doing jewelry. I got limited edition earrings, bracelets. Now, I know you're looking at this wonderful choker on my neck. I cannot take credit.
Because I like the choker myself. I'm sorry, you're talking about jewelry.
I like it though. So, I can't take credit for this, but this is one of my favorite chokers given to me by yours truly over here, Horny Tone. So let's get in it. What we got? What's up, Chandler's Way? Yeah, fam. Yeah.
We see you.
CC 305W. Yo.
Yeah, you want to tell us the meaning of that?
Yeah, right. I don't know. Do we want to know right now?
We always want to know.
Do we want to know right now?
So now you're sitting here, you're watching this on Smoke and Ash. We like to talk about some topics. My lady over here, E.L. Berkeley, she be kicking it. She got conversation. I got a little background where I roam the world. I do a little bodyguard work. So let's keep it real. Some of you people in long distance relationships, some of you people in short distance relationships, acting like you in long distance relationships. Woo! That's crazy. Woo! Some of you brothers out here cheating. Some of you sisters is out here cheating.
Listen, man.
Look.
Horny Tone just be taking us straight there.
Listen, I gotta take you straight there because we're on a short schedule.
And it's Aries season. So
it's Aries season. I got no filter. Shout out to my Aries crew. We are filterless. I don't act like I got a filter. I'm old. I don't have to. Listen, let's just keep it 100. I've been looking at some of these posts, some of these videos. These ladies out here asking brothers to pay for babysitters, weaves, lipstick, and nails on the first date.
First of all,
I think that's crazy.
Why you
crazy?
CC305 said, why you sparking controversy so soon? Because it's Aries.
It's Aries season.
Oh my God. So
hey, listen, I'm not even gonna knock you ladies out here who think y'all special. But it's first date. Why am I paying for hair?
Listen.
Why am I paying for nails? I mean, hell, I'm trying to just pay for a meal. Some of you women out here dating strictly so you can eat for free.
Yo,
like this is meal welfare. That shit's crazy.
Yo,
now I know y'all got these young brothers out here thinking it's a move. I don't understand it.
Oh, Mike, that's Mike. Mike said, why you start? Listen, Aries.
Look, I got mad love for you ladies who know that you got some worth. Why am I paying for nails and a babysitter on the first date? Where the baby daddy at? What happened to courting? What happened to me taking you out on the first date and you talking and me talking, and then I find out that you special, and then I'm looking forward to seeing you the next time. I don't want to see you if I'm already paying for hair and nails on the first date. I mean, I know y'all women want to sit there and say the word broke, but I think there's a difference between broke and on a budget.
So, I'm just trying to figure out, at what point do you just take, when do we lose the responsibility for just being a fully functional adult?
An adult.
Like,
They're asking too much?
Like,
I mean, I would like to think if I'm a brother trying to date you, at the very minimum, you should already be at adult phase. I mean, are we talking about money and budgets on date one? I haven't even decided if I want to. I haven't slept with you yet. I ain't seen a nipple. I don't understand why I'm spending so much money. And ladies, don't come out ass out in heels, tit out, no bra, and then get mad at me because I'm looking. I'm still a man. I'm not going to disrespect you, but that's a lead off. That's trickery.
What's up? What's up, real? I said, love what y'all doing. Keep up the great work, family.
We appreciate the support.
The love.
We're going to grow this show because we need to grow for us. But back to that story, though. Why is that? Why do women believe first date we need to talk about your rent? Because all you telling me is you broke. I don't want to date a broke chick out the gate.
Yo, I would never, like, I like, I'm really dumbfounded because where is this, and is this a general, I don't know, just to recap for those who may have missed, this is our fourth show. So we're a month in, and we are slowly growing. Y'all peep the background.
Yo,
the background. I'll just say it, yo. So it's
talking about your flags or mine?
Huh?
We talking about your flag or mine?
I'm talking about the Dark Papyrus.
Dark Papyrus is back there, but shout out to the 82nd Airborne and all the people in the military. Because guess what? If we not holding the line don't get held. But DP is back there. Now you can take DP in a lot of different directions, but we are definitely talking about Dark Papyrus tonight.
Listen, so the flags have been up from the beginning. What has not been up from the beginning is our logo. So that's what I was saying. We are growing. Peep the logo, and shout out to Aaron Wright, aka Double A, who designed the logo. So thank you, and pick up his album Titan. He's an awesome producer, songwriter. And
shout out to that brother.
So yeah.
Shout out to Betsy Ross, who designed this flag behind him. At the time, it didn't have as many stars. Shout out to the United States Army who created the 82nd Airborne, which I'm proudly a part of. 8 Deuce. But back to the story, because we ain't sliding. Y'all ladies out there, let's keep it real.
Give me a second. So what I was saying was, if you didn't catch the first 3 episodes, the last 2 we slid into talking about the codes, meaning there's man code and there's girl code, right? And hoe phase. So we left off, it got so deep into the rabbit hole that we had to have a part 2. So we had the codes and hoe phase part 2, and we went over like
about like 25 minutes.
We was 42.
But the
minutes.
comments was real.
The comments were real. So, but how do you even get there? Like, girls, we talk, right? So if we're, interested in somebody, the natural thing to do is talk to your girls like, yo, met so-and-so, we about to do blah, blah, blah. So what I'm trying to figure out is the conversation Is everybody in agreement in this conversation that you gonna try to run a man for your rent?
Date one?
Date one?
I'm still stuck at date one. Because that means at some point me and you talked on the telephone.
Like, that don't make sense.
We had some conversation. As a man, I made a decision I want to take you out. I'm telling you what time I'm picking you up, where I'm taking you to. Now you already getting picky on where we eating at. I would assume at some point during the conversation you told me what you enjoy eating. I found a place that's within my budget. But I don't want to go to a place that's loud and crazy and over expensive because now I don't get to know you. Now, I remember growing up where I might have talked to you on the phone for 5 or 6 nights on the phone. We finally made a decision we was going to step out. I made a budget up for myself because I don't know what's going on with today's women who think that it's sassy to have a budget.
Yo, sassy.
Like I heard a woman call her brother broke because he didn't want to overspend. My answer is, if that brother know what his budget is, it's to keep him from being broke.
Right.
Now that we done went out and you talking about 5-star dinners on date one, when do I get to meet you? Because I'm going to tell you this now. I'm a brother about to hit 55. If you tell me before I pick you up, I got to pay for the babysitter, your hair, your nails, I'm already out. I don't even want to date you now. You too expensive already. What that tells me is you broke.
Right, and see, and therein lies.
Yes, budget and responsibility.
Right. Come on.
Why? Keep it 100.
Right.
If you listen, stop. My mom told me I was out at 18. I don't know what today's generation is doing, but if you out at 18, you quickly realize the moment you hit the market, you got to have a budget.
Right.
You got to pay for that rent. You got to pay for that bus pass or car. I don't know why women already believe that every brother got to have a car already. I don't think most brothers had a car until they about 22, 25. I was one of the few lucky ones who got a car a little early, but that was a hoopty. Let's keep it 100. People don't even want to admit the word hoopty no more.
It's like everybody want to start up here. Nobody wants to do the work. Like across the board for everything. You know, and like I've said,
take care of a business.
Right, like I've said before, I've only ever been a woman. I've only ever identified as a woman. I don't. Where is, like, you have to have a build-up. You know, like, I'm sure if a brother just wants to come and y'all have sex and he gets straight to and busts his nut, didn't do any foreplay, didn't, get you, wasn't in on your needs, and there's no build-up. That's what y'all are doing with these dates.
Hold on, back up. I'm a little confused here. So, we've already gotten to the nut and busting already. I'm trying to get you to the point where I've given you a meal I can afford.
No, it was an analogy.
I got the analogy.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. That's how y'all are treating this situation. So if he did that to you in a sex situation, you be dragging his name all over the place. Oh, he got straight to what he needed, what he wanted. And now you disappointed. Like, y'all are trying to jump straight to wife privileges. Y'all are trying to jump straight from, I met you on the gram.
Damn, is that what they call it there? Is it the gram?
Yeah, it's the gram. So,
gram.
Yeah, listen.
It's not Insta? We at gram?
Gen X.
Yes. I'm sorry. Listen, I don't even pretend to be a young bro. I got too much gray. So I guess the question I'm asking is courting no longer what we do? Do we not?
But see, that's the problem. That's the problem that we were
are
talking
we playing
about.
our hand so early?
And that's what they're doing. They're playing and expecting. And see, to me, that's the sign of you have psychological issues. Because how do you go straight from we're talking, we're getting to know each other, and y'all don't, a lot of y'all don't. The younger generations don't do those. Remember those late night hours, phone calls. Like you're.
I learned more about a woman between the hours of 10 p. to 1 o'clock in the morning on the phone. By the time we had that conversation, most women have told me so much about them.
Right.
I can already decide if I won't even see you
for the date. Right.
Now you might say some crazy shit during our over late night conversation that tells me, hey, my fourth boyfriend was only this dude, or my second boyfriend only liked blowjobs, but he preferred anal. That told me instantly, oh, so you suck a lot of dick, you like it in the ass. If that wasn't my twist, I instantly knew
that wasn't for you.
That this wasn't a date, because my biggest fear at a young age is I didn't want to get shit on my dick. So when they said anal, it was like, oh damn, that means you've been giving this ass up to somebody else. It wasn't my twist.
Right.
You didn't have to tell me about your budget or your needs. I had realized at this point, we don't even need to do the first date.
Right.
By the time we talked about, hey, let's get together and eat somewhere, I was already like, nah, the last conversation we had, I'm out.
Right.
And I'm starting to believe, in a world where cell phones and communication is so, everybody's got one.
Right.
How did we miss out on the communication point? Because I think communication at the early phase was a learning experience.
With so much access to communication, to ways to communicate, the communication is now missing. Whoo! Yeah.
I mean, was it music? Was it just because of the switch of generations that so many women that are on so many media applications nowadays believe that a man should come in and take care of all their needs before they even got the girlfriend status?
And herein lies, so media is tricky, right? And it has tricked a lot of the younger generation. Because how many times have you seen, there are a lot of skits out, right? And so what I'm starting to believe is that this younger generation is trying to learn things off of social media, and Udon Noodle said, and female gender entitlement. Let's talk about that now. Yes.
When you say gender entitlement,
so females, there's a lot of, so they're taking the basis of old school courting and taking those expectations and skipping the bottom levels and going straight to, they're skipping dating, acquaintance zone, and they want to go straight to wife benefits and privileges. That's what's happening. And they feel as though, for whatever reason, they're entitled to that. And if a man does not give that to them off gate, then he's broke or sassy. So somewhere...
But doesn't that put me immediately...
at a disadvantage?
Well, I think that puts me into a situation where now I'm a simp, where I've given up all my leverage of manhood. Because at the end of the day, I mean, respect. I believe some women believe that, and when I say this, please don't take this as an offensive statement. Mm-hmm. I think some women, particularly the younger ones, believe that pussy has more value than the other parts that are more important.
So, J&B said, also not knowing what a healthy relationship is, and they're confusing mutual respect and being a gentleman. And see, here, and we touched a little bit last week, just in case y'all wondering what I'm eating. I found some Harry Potter limited edition popcorn, and it's very good. It's butterbeer. So
I'm sitting here enjoying a fine Cohiba. I'm drinking some Jack Daniel's apple tonight. I'm a little short on honey. But back to the statement.
So people aren't laying the foundation.
I didn't realize that the foundation could be laid so before the first date, though. I mean, more to the argument that I hear the entitlement part. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, entitlement came after maybe date 3 or 2, or maybe 5, where we started seeing each other maybe on a regular.
Folks don't know their roles. And see, I know what I was going to say. I'm sorry, I'm a little off today. I've been very cranky all day.
She has been eating a Snickers all day. She has not been herself. We're not going to talk about that. But to you married men out there, you know exactly what I'm saying.
And I mean, I can admit it. Like, I was getting on my own nerves. Or it's like I felt it. But anyway, I digress. So, they have put so much value. They have misplaced value. Okay, go into that, please. So, reach into that, please. They're putting, because of the lack of self-esteem, true self-value, they're putting all of their chips in the pussy.
That's my problem, though. And pussy, though? I think pussy's easy to get.
But see, I'm talking about the mental warp that has happened. So, they think, and we're talking about these particular females, okay? They think that just by showing up, and however they show up, because it's not just the ones that have all the weaves and the eyelashes and all that.
Weaves, eyelashes, thanks.
So, there are some natural women
bad love,
who pull the same shit. Okay.
Yeah, but at least I know what I'm getting.
That's right. But it's a compounded issue.
Okay.
Right. So it's not just because they look a certain way. Okay. Although I would say that's an indicator also that you don't don't value yourself as much as you should. And someone did not teach you how to value that early on. So they're putting the value strictly on the pussy, right? And because they know what the monetary value. So peep the correlation. They know how much a 5-star restaurant meal is.
5-star restaurant.
They know how much their rent is. They know literally the monetary value of that. What they have not gotten to know is their true value. So because they have missed that completely, yes, unrealistic expectations, and they value the wrong things. J and B, yeah.
When you say unrealistic, though, here's the thing about unrealistic.
But see, it's because they don't have the actual value in themselves. So the only thing that they can equate that they know that men want, but see, they've overplayed their position. They've overplayed the value of them as a sexual being.
But who told them that, though?
See, that's the thing. They've had to try to figure stuff out on their own.
Young men, very young men, think that the whole game is about getting laid.
Right.
In my personal opinion, in my experience, from age 15 to 25 is about getting laid.
Right.
Somewhere between 25 and 35, I'm looking for a woman that I can take my man armor off. Because when I wake up in the morning and I leave the house, I have to constantly prove that I'm equal to other men. Because that's man code.
Okay, so that's part of man code.
So you're carrying that weight all day. Then if I'm lucky enough, I might bump into a woman I want to flirt with. And if she reciprocates that flirting, at some point, the lay part is really not that deep. Because after a few fucks, you know what you get. I mean, respectfully, by the time you reach age 30, you've seen pussy before. Hopefully. Unless you on that last 5% who ain't really getting out there like that. What I'm looking for the woman is who says, hey, I see that you are a hardworking man. Let me allow you a safe place to stop and take your armor off, have a meal, and love me. And a lot of times that's not pussy. That's what you create, the zone. You want me to create a safe zone of protection for you as a woman. You want me to show up and say, hey, look, I'm not going to let another man put hands on you. I'm going to give you a place that you can build. I'm going to buy a house. You're going to turn it into a home. Your pussy phase part is now being devalued.
Right.
For me as a man, because it's like, oh, the lay part is a given.
So
where's the nurture part?
Right. So Udon Noodle says they're putting focus on the pussy versus intellect and basic needs where relationships are concerned. Yo, what's up, Bob? Thank you. We are growing. Bob said, like the stepped up set. But we're talking about where the misplaced value. Why do females nowadays feel as though they can expect from a man on a first date? Like we just saw something this week. I guess the guy was supposed to meet the chick for a date, and he goes, where you at? I'll come. She said, I'm at the nail salon. And he said, okay, well, hit me when you're done. Right? Like that to me, that's a legit answer. Like, so okay, I wasn't quite ready. I don't know if I don't know if they had a time that they were supposed to meet, or it was, so I don't know that part. So she goes, well, no, I'll give you the address
and swing
to the nail salon. Swing by. Oh, that's how he's like, well, no, like just hit me when you're done. Now, what she's trying to do now, we realize, is set that brother up to walk into the nail salon
and pay for her stuff to get done
right on the spot. Like, you're not even going to. First of all, to me it would be tacky to ask. Like, this is a date. Like, you're not my man.
You're trying to tell me first date you're not ready for me to receive you. You got me meeting you at the nail salon so I can pay for your nails to be done. And we haven't even had our first date. So I'm already paying for your nails, your eyelashes, your hair, your babysitter. I think some women miss the point that as men, as we grow, because most men, honestly, if you stop playing the BS game that some women don't admit, from age 15 to about 30, most men are on the most tight budget
of their life.
Until they just finding out they got to pay rent. They're trying to find a career or a job. And let's keep it 100%. Most of us as men didn't even find our careers. And I went into the military at 18. And even at that, I didn't understand what I was getting into. So most men don't really start finding their financial footing to damn near 25, 30, unless they're doing it illegal or wrong.
Right.
Now I'm trying to find myself in a position where I'm meeting women at that age who are wondering why I don't have it all figured out yet.
Right.
And most of those women are broke.
And I'm trying to figure out if these women work? Because see, I know the value when you work for stuff, you know the value, you know how many hours you had to work so you could go ahead and get your nails done.
Let's keep it 100.
Like,
at the end of the day, as a man, and yes, I mean, let's keep it 100. If you're only a brother who's making 20, and I'm saying this weird, because we live in a world where $25 an hour is not what you're starting at.
Don't forget that minimum wage, y'all, is still only $7.25.
If you are getting paid $7.25, how many hours do you have to make before you see your first $24, $25? And if you're lucky to get paid $25, and that's a wrap right now because no one's paying $25 an hour unless you already got a skill. Mm-hmm. So at $7.25 an hour, you done worked 3 hours, and you still haven't seen 25. So have a woman to say to you, "Hey, my hair is $500."
Hey, listen,
hair is $500.
Let me tell y'all something. Let me break this down real quick. Now, I'm a low maintenance chick. I've always been a low maintenance chick. Okay. So as far as hair, nails, I don't get fake nails. Okay. These are my nails. This is my hair. I have locks, so my maintenance is low. When I go to get my nails done, and I like the spa pedicure. I remember back in the day when I used to go with my friend who got fake nails. It was $25 for a full set. Now that's fake. That was $25.
Men don't know nothing about this game.
Let me tell you something. So a basic manicure. Now I like the spa manicure. That means the extra, the hot stones. I get all that because see, I work. Okay, my hands take a lot.
Shout out to the women out there that work, because a lot of you women out there are not working.
Listen, I don't have an office job anymore. I've had office careers. I don't do that anymore. I won't say, if you know who I work for, then that's cool, but I'm not going to say it, because just so I can stay on the right side of the social media stuff outside of work. So, but I work, okay, and I use my hands. So I like to get the spa manicure when I go. Now, because I'm budget conscious and I respect how hard my husband works, and I don't always get the manicure and the pedicure together. Do you know if I do that now, mind you, I just said my nails. I'm not getting nothing added. I'm getting paint and basically massage for my hands and my feet. Do you know when I get that is like $100 and something just for me, to put paint and to rub my nails.
Now let's keep it on
and manicure.
Us men, we go to the barbershop and drop $25.
Right.
We've gotten our hair cut. We were lucky to get the haircut we wanted because we still have hair.
Right.
By the time we get our beards, mustaches trimmed, we're out of the barbershop at maybe $25, $30. So when a woman says to me her hair costs $500, I'm thinking to myself, that's a car note.
Like that does not compute.
And then when you say to a man, hey, yeah, my nails cost me $80, my hair cost me $500, and I still gotta buy lashes. Yeah, you looking at $600.
Let me tell you something.
Most men, respect. Most men, when we hear a woman say $600, and we haven't even been on our first date yet. Hell, you already doubled the budget I had for our date. Because I'm thinking dinner might cost me $120, maybe $150. Travel expenses, if you got a car or not, Uber, what have you. You add another $50 to $100 to that. Miscellaneous, getting you some drinks. That might add another $100 to mine. Tips, add $50. In my mind, as my budget, I'm looking at I might drop $300 on this date total before I take you home. Hold it. Let me be 100% because I come from an age where I was born in 1970. By the time I took you home, I wasn't planning on getting laid. This was me just walking you to the door, hoping I got a hug and a kiss, and maybe another date.
So Udon said, basically, it's how they're meeting. Everything is instant gratification. And he said most men today aren't aware of the cost of cosmetics, which is true.
Oh, I'm totally oblivious. Like when I've always dated all natural women. I was never interested in a chick with a weave.
It's a costume.
It's a complete
costume.
The women I dated, when the date was over, if I got lucky, say date 5, date 6, where I may have seen you undressed, it wasn't a shock when you came through and did the magic my bra off trick where you do the thing underneath your shirt and the bra come out. We weren't, as men, we weren't in shock. We were just like, okay, this is what we kind of hoped it was. The fact that women today can go into the bathroom
and come out like, yo,
come out totally different women. Like you came out without the spank on, so now I don't understand where this belly came from. The ass ain't round, the breast ain't up. These jaws done dropped 5 feet.
Not the 5 feet.
You done took off 1/10. You done told me I can't touch your hair, and for some reason you still wearing these stupid ass eyelashes at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yo.
And then, God forbid, I hear something moving in the house and you tell me, oh, those are my kids. So now our kids in the house, you're down with, you done showed up in the bedroom, totally a different woman that I've been dating since day 3.
Right.
And I haven't met any version of you that, and then there are guys, and I'm married, I'm not going to say his name, we served in the military together. He married a woman he never saw without her makeup, hair, weave, wig, eyelashes, and makeup until after I did.
Yeah.
And he bitched every day after the wedding. Because that's not what he signed up for. Now, I was lucky that I married and dated only all natural women. Now, respect to all my exes, I got none because every one of my exes made me better for the relationship I'm in now. Because I saw how it should have been done and it wasn't done. But how are the days women justifying asking a man who's not their man precisely yet because they're not in a relationship?
Right. And then the question is, how many other men are you doing this to? So, let me tell you right now, ladies.
Yo, ladies, we're not talking to the brothers because I'm speaking from the man code tonight.
Excuse me, I'm being too nice. Because ladies don't have that.
Horrors of the day.
Right.
No, too far.
Well.
Ladies of the night, because that's when we grew up. When we grew up in the 70s, 80s, 90s, we called them ladies of the evening.
Dumb broads, because that's what you are. I'm talking to a specific group of females. I'm not going to call you women. I'm not going to call you ladies. You are little girls in a bad horror costume.
All right, so we won't get into that costume.
And you are dead wrong. Okay? You are dead wrong. You are not supposed to. And now, if all you're out for is to try to trick a man
for a dinner,
if you are out just to trick, okay, you're a trick. All right. If you are out just to see,
can I interrupt? When she just said the word trick, I think the word trick in 1970, 1980, and 1990 means completely different in 2023 to 2025. I grew up with trick was
Mike, I'm a little chemically imbalanced, so I gotta chill a little.
I am paying for sex. That's what trick was. I was going to give you what you asked for money-wise. And I knew instantly I was getting what I wanted. We didn't have to play the whole date phase where I paid for dinner, hair, nails. You said you wanted $25, $50. $25, $50 gave me what I gave you, and in return, you gave me what I wanted sexually. At the end of our exchange, you left, and it was over. And maybe I'll catch you a week later. Somehow today's young women turned the word trick into I pay your rent, your bills, I buy your hair, your nails, and all the maintenance that came, and then we still didn't have a relationship. So here's my joke point on that statement. I can rent sex. If you really want to get down to it, make her rent it. You go find a prostitute, she says it's $100, you give her the $100, she does her trick that you asked for, and then she left. That was booty with no overhead. Mm-hmm. What happened to booty with no overhead? Now what you're getting is, I'm getting booty with overhead, and you still expect me to act like a father figure to children who aren't mine. A car note of a car that I'm never going to drive.
But wait, and
I'm listening.
You're not doing any of the work.
Because I'm hearing women saying they don't want to cook, they don't want to clean, they don't want to participate in other parts of that relationship.
But like legit, like you don't want, you looking for another parent. You're looking for a parent.
I don't want to. I guess that sounds cute at age 19 to 25, but age 35 to 55, I'm not going to lie. Listen, I might say something that is very unpopular with most women, and
Right.
some fake
Trick
brothers.
entertainment, right?
But let's keep it 100. I'm not looking to take care of another full-grown adult. I mean, you're going to come to the table with booty and all you want me to do is take care of your bills. To me, you're dependent already. You're already coming into a relationship as a liability to me.
Right. This is nothing but liability.
I don't see the upside for the band.
You have, and that's why I said what I said. I'm not calling you ladies. I'm not calling you women.
Trick.
You are cheap trick broads. Straight up. And if you say now, if your point is just to come out here to see how many men you can hustle, then you know what?
Then live that life.
Then
listen.
Excuse me.
I hear
then you are indeed a hustler of the night. Okay? And listen, and then if that's the stance you're taking, then I ain't talking to you either.
Are we not
because you've made a conscious decision to say, hey,
is the word prostitute something we don't use anymore now?
Hoe trick, you know.
I'm just saying, prostitute. You want X, Y. You want my money,
right?
And you want my infrastructure.
You just not out there walking on Broad Street. You just basically, excuse me. You're more of like an escort.
Even an escort
type situation.
Escort was only a slightly better phrase than hoe.
Right.
Now, mind you, I have no disrespect for any woman who is honestly saying I'm in hoe phase. I'm out to get the bread. I want money, and I'm going to give you pussy. And if that's the statement we're going for, I mean, law enforcement out the way. Let's keep it 100. If that's the deal we're making, most men will understand that deal, because what I'm paying for is to get laid. Tell me, if you told a man for $250 a night, I'm giving you sexual access to me and all that I can do for you, I think 99% of the men who are in that phase of their life will say, deal. If we don't have to go out for dinner, we don't have to go out to the bar and fake a fraud. I don't have to come up with topics to talk about. I don't have to ask you questions about your mom and your upbringing.
Right.
We can just get the hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, or backseat of the Chevy, knock this off. Here is your $100 to $200, and be gone.
Now, now Udon brought up a good point. Now, yeah, so he's talking about identify the men that come off as players, and women feel that they are leveling the playing field. Okay, but if that's what you're doing, go after those men then.
Because when I hear a woman say,
don't complain. Hold up, don't complain that you're being cheated on and you're being played. If you want to level the playing field, do it with the men that you know act like that. So then everybody has an understanding, and then it's a transaction. Okay.
I like transactions.
I know that you're going to Susie, Mary Jane, Sheila. Hey, this is Barbara. They're my old school people, Sheila and Barbara. Listen, so if you're cool with him making his hoe rounds, okay, and you say, okay, cool, I don't mind being in rotation because I'm going to get X, Y, and Z from him, and then I'm also going to go get X, Y, and Z from somebody else. Everybody has a mutual understanding. But what I'm getting at are these broads that say that they want the loyalty and the companionship and all that this long. They want to be able to say, oh, I got, but you're acting what you say you want and what you're doing is a whole astral plane apart. That's the problem. So if you really about that leveling the playing field business, go after those dudes. Go after those dudes that may bring you back at STD. Be like, okay, well, hey, go after the one that might hit you. Okay, but he paid you $1,500 for your hair. He gave you the bag. Take everything that come along with that, and don't complain about a motherfucking thing.
Here's my thing. This is a shout out to 69 because I think he has a unique ideal on how things work. Only because I've had a unique moment to have this conversation with 69. when you're out there and 69 is one of our special hosts that
Udon Noodle 69
that scream out to us. And he has an understanding of a relationship that I don't have because I'm territorial. Who out to the airborne? Here's where I gotta get to on that statement. You meet a woman. She has certain ideals on what she believes is a man. She believes the man should be over 6'1". I'm not speaking for all brothers. I know a couple of brothers, shout out to Bob, who's well above 6'1". Okay, so you check that box. Then you say you want a man with a career of the words that escape me. Okay, let's say you meet a man who can make above 5 figures a year. Mm. Now that man's willing to invest.
Udon just posed a really good question. Address that.
So before I address that, here I go. I've heard women say they're looking for a man above 6 foot. They're looking for a man making 6 figures. They're looking for a man who has more than 9 inches of dick. Which I think, damn, over 9 inches of dick. I'm not going to say that.
You want to know why they looking over 9 inches? Because the shit done lost its elasticity now because you done been hoeing around.
And then with that said, you want a man who is willing to be loving, caring, supportive. You want him to have infrastructure. And when I mean infrastructure, I mean he has the ability and the willingness to make your dreams come true while still supporting his own. Then you want that man to be loving, caring, emotionally supportive to you without showing any emotional deficiencies within himself. And then with that whole package you're asking for, and that man looks at you one day and says, what do you bring to the table for all you're asking from me?
Right.
You don't want to cook, you don't want to clean, you don't want to work.
You don't want to take emotional...
and at the end of the day, you may have even asked me to take care of another man's seed.
Right. Meanwhile,
what exactly is the trade-off?
Right.
Meanwhile, for all you've asked for?
This particular, for people who may have just tuned in, we are not talking about all. We're talking about a segment. A segment. A segment. Okay.
To you women out here who hold your own. To you women out here and not hold it. And I'm not talking about I'm not saying this in a bad way, so please don't take this in a bad way. You own your own business. You make your own money. You're looking for a man who can step into your life and basically be your partner. I'm not talking about you. You are excluded from this conversation. Right. Because I understand as a man how hard it is for me to go through the levels to get to the top. I understand women have to work twice as hard to be boss chicks. And no, you should not settle. I never believe a woman should settle. But I do believe that when you ask a man to step into your life to be a certain way, at the very least, you should understand what you're asking for.
So the question that Udon posed is, do women feel the good men need to be transformed from the player into a keeper versus there actually being good men out there? Now, see, this takes me back to the hoe face conversation, because, correct me if I'm wrong, now you may not have gone through it, but you have friends that were there. A lot of young men have a player phase, right? Now, does that mean that they're not going to be a good man later? Does that mean that they don't have a good heart? No. Just like the chick that had the hoe phase, I had a hoe phase. Many of my girls had hoe phases. But once you get past a certain age and you keep seeing that phase, guess what? It ain't a phase. It's your heart and it's your way of life.
Oh, let me answer that, because I was one of the late bloomers in the game. And when I say this, let me say this in the honest phase of me. Very early in my life, I was, and some women will say I was taken advantage of. I was a mere 15 years old.
You were taken
But the first woman who allowed me the moment to have sex with her was well in her 30s.
Yeah. And
the things she had taught me, to this very day, still take care of me. I think it's different for women, because if a woman who's is 14, 15 years old and the man who touches her is 35, he's an immature man who has not satisfied women on his level.
Let's be clear, though.
I took it as a blessing. Let me be clear that an older woman took advantage of me. Because she built me capable of taking care of women.
Let's call it is what it is now, okay? And I don't care. So anybody that's 15, male or female, if you are 30, 35 with a 15-year-old, you are a predator.
Hold it. Time out.
Period.
I hear what you're saying, but predator for a man. If you're a 35-year-old woman and you take a 15-year-old partner and teach him the ways of...
That's not a partner. That's a kid.
Hold it.
That's a kid that you molded.
That woman has put me light years ahead of my competition.
Now, listen, I hear what you're saying, that you took... It turned it into a positive for you, but I just want to make it very clear. Let me tell you something. If I got a 15-year-old son, and I find out that some 35-year-old chick is banging him, guess what I'm doing? I'm stomping a mud hole in a bitch. I'm telling you right now.
As a father, let me be clear. If I have a 15-year-old son and a hot 35-year-old has taken my son underneath her wing.
Right.
Hold it. Let me finish.
No, I'm just saying.
Hold it. Let me finish.
I'm just.
Yes, she may have groomed him, but what she has done is set him light years ahead of the male friends he has, because he's now learning how to please a woman, by which most women.
What's up, honey bunny?
We get judged from women differently than women.
Yeah, true.
Respect. Hold it. Let me finish.
But I'm just saying.
If I'm 16 years old,
who was groomed
by a 35-year-old, every woman that I touch who's in my age bracket in 3 years ahead thinks I'm the best lover they've ever had.
Right.
Because I learned from someone older.
No, I understand
because
that.
Because at 15 years old, all boys know is pump, 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 nut. Now, a 35-year-old who's taught me how to please a woman. Every woman I touch after that believes that I am an experienced lover.
Listen,
boys get judged on that. In
fact,
you just said earlier what you said earlier in our conversation was, if a boy gets on top of a woman and he's all about him because all he knows is the boy phase of sex, then that guy more than likely will never get a second call. But if a woman teaches us as boys how to please a woman, every woman I touch after that will look at me as an experienced lover. And I will get a second, third, and fourth callback, which will boost my ego as a man, as a boy moving in a man.
I understand it's a
different bar.
It's a double standard.
It's a very
I'm just calling the shit what it is.
Now,
stop.
Hold it. I'm a father of a daughter.
Look,
if a 35-year-old touches my 15-year-old,
he's gonna cut his fucking nuts off and shove him down his throat.
I'm not cutting his nuts off. He just comes up missing.
What is nuts missing?
Well, I'm just saying he just comes up missing.
All I know is that although it may have benefited you, the chick was a predator. Period.
But women predators.
So,
like, I'm not mad at a very pretty woman who has stepped onto my 14, 15, 16-year-old son. Yes, there's a double standard. But you also, when you talk about...
Absolutely the fuck not.
I've met many women who have standards that, in my humble opinion, believe that a boy should have answers to our man issues. And, I have family, friends who served in the military from 18. And even when we turned 25, we still were trying to figure out life. And I truly believe, and I think a lot of our listeners, male listeners, will at least admit, financial footing for us as men normally don't happen well into our 30th to 40th, even some of us to our 50th year.
All I know is, especially with all of this out here, if you are a 35-year-old, any damn body, male, female, unidentified, ambiguous, pansexual, transsexual. I don't give a damn what you identify as. If you are looking at a 15-year-old, if you are hunting, then you're a predator, and there's something wrong with you. Because see,
now, do you think that hold it? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Because female predators don't get. There are female predators, and they don't get.
Are you hunting the younger guy because he doesn't come with the trauma and hunting skills of an older man you've messed up with? I think a lot of older women who look towards the younger man, they've been hurt by so many men on their level.
I ain't talking about. Look, if you 35 and he 18, now I'm still gonna question your psychological, but technically he is legal, okay? But I'm still looking at you going, what does an 18-year-old, unless
he's trainable?
I don't give a good goddamn.
If I'm 30 and you're 40 and you come to me, I'm already setting my ways.
To me, that you are inept. You yourself are inept. So either you have not matured past, you are stuck mentally at that age, which is why you're looking for that, or you are a predator.
Well, hold it. You're still missing my point, though. We know that.
That's right, Laterno.
But the learning, hold it, stop. The learning curve for women and men are different. We already know that women mature faster than men. That's just
all the more reason. So if that's the case, what the fuck are you looking at a 15-year-old?
Because I'm young, I have a heart on,
I know.
And you can teach me.
I know you are not justifying this shit at all.
Hold it, but I think it's different. Because if you're a man being taught by a woman, would you set me up for two things? One, if I'm young and you taught me, you're more than likely going to keep me. Two, if you're older than me and you teach me, you set me up to dominate women in my age bracket, which you made me a better lover for. The flip side of that is, if I'm 35 and I grip up a 15-year-old girl, I'm only dating her because she don't know I'm a lousy lover to the people in my age bracket.
This is not just about sex. This is a
but the difference is this. But the mental part is what I'm saying is this: when an older woman takes the time, and yes, predator. I'm not denying.
Yeah, okay. I'm about to say. I'm
not letting that off the hook. But the difference is that woman put me in a better position. Where every woman that I mess with,
I like what
Unan
just said. Do not put a female predator on a pedestal.
Hold it. I'm not putting her on a predator.
You just said.
Hold it, but let me be clear. An older woman who takes me under let's I'm not gonna say underneath my wing because I believe that might be taken a different way. So let me clarify what I'm saying.
Because
when an experienced woman
and if she thought that the shit was cool, your mom would have knew about it.
But hold it. But listen, let's keep it 100. Most of our moms are never going to know when we no matter who we sleep with. Whether we mess with a woman our age bracket or older. I believe that, and I'm speaking for my mom because I knew my mom. My mom would have much rather seen a woman teach me certain things than a girl my age. My mom was totally pissed when she found out I was messing with a woman who I won't say her name, who was my age. My mom was completely pissed because that's two immature people doing things that have adult consequences.
Listen,
when there's an adult in the room saying, hey, listen, I'm going to show you how to properly please a woman.
I can't.
Every woman that I touched after the 35-year-old woman touched me, I was a superior person to.
Yeah, but you want to know why?
Yeah, she was 35 and I was fucking 15.
And mentally, because of the double, triple, sometimes a quadruple standard that exists between men and women, you thinking, yo, that's a feather in my cap. When I'm saying...
Amongst my peers, it is.
And what I'm saying is...
Like, if you banging a teacher, let's keep it 100.
Listen.
You're superior.
But what I'm saying is, let's call it what it really is all I'm saying. Oh, Mike said we're overloading the microphone with our volume. My bad, because it's getting heated.
Shout out to Michael because his insight, which is funny because when I say shout out to brother Michael, it's funny how close we are into the life we live and our experiences.
Yet he made a good point. It says it doesn't mean it was healthy because you valued it positively.
At the time, I did not value it positively because I was only a teenager. I didn't understand the value of it until I started messing with women in my age bracket.
Sorry. Live and unscripted.
Yo, live and unscripted.
But
hold on, let me finish that statement because I think that's something.
You want to finish your statements a lot. You cut me off an awful lot. I'm just saying. I didn't say that.
What 69 said is very valuable. What he said.
And then I can't remember what.
And let me just give a quick shout out to that statement because I think it's deeper than both of us because his experiences in life and ours in certain places are equal, and certain places are different. When an older woman teaches a young man how to please a woman.
Can we use the word?
When I say pleases, because I think women, when they get a man in their life, they're hoping that the man who shows up has answers that they don't have. They're dating a guy who, like you just said earlier in our conversation, who got on top, pumped, he nutted, he was done, and at no time did he spend any time trying to satisfy that woman. He was so engulfed in getting himself off, he missed the opportunity. When an older woman teaches a man how to please a woman, we're looking for the effect that we have on the woman. So if that woman is getting to the point of orgasm and she finally gets it, we take pleasure in the fact that we satisfied that woman. That woman is now looking at us thinking, yo, I never had a man who was so interested in her needs. Now that may lead us into a real relationship because now she says, hey, he's sexually satisfying me. All I have to do is wait for the rest of him to mature, whether that is protector, provider, and everything. He's already covering her basic sexual needs. Flip that script
off. I said, I've had the older woman experience also, but I view it as an experience that didn't necessarily make me a better lover or partner, just sharing.
Because he may have already had certain skill sets that certain men don't have. Because when you're a young man, like you just said, we're so wanting to get laid that we miss the point of satisfying a woman. We're just trying to get laid.
Or miss the point that the bitch was a predator and groomed your ass.
But that's different, though, because when I take that same skill set she taught me and put somebody and go after somebody on my level, she's looking at me as a superior lover.
That doesn't mean that what the bitch did still wasn't wrong.
I'm not talking about what she did was wrong. I'm talking about she put me so far ahead of the women in mine.
Listen, watching my sister's porn.
But if a master teaches me how to fight, everybody on my level, I just eliminate.
I didn't have to.
My self-esteem goes up.
Okay, I understand. I didn't have to suck a lot of dick to be good at it. Why? Because I found my sister's...
all dick suckers are not equal.
Right. Because I found my sister's porn stash at a young age. So when I did engage in said activity, all I did was remember what I saw and had been watching. I'm just saying.
Before I go any further, let me make it clear on behalf of our show, we've now slid into the 11:10 area.
Oh, are we?
We're going to slide another 10 minutes because
all right.
The comments are great.
Yeah,
we appreciate y'all being part of the team, even if you're not physically here. With that thought said, let me be clear. If you have a lot of partners, I was unfortunate. I'm not going to say unfortunate. I did not really get sexually understanding because the woman who groomed me, because my partner said so, took advantage of me. But even but even in that situation, there was no actual penetration. I was really just learning the oral part of the game. And shout out to the fact that between this might sound embarrassing, but you know what? I've said this in my life. Let me be clear. My mother taught me a skill set that she didn't even tell me what the skill set was until after she taught me. She cut a grapefruit in half in which you only saw the triangle part. She told me once you learn how to get the triangle out without breaking the membrane, you will learn the skill that I can't tell you at your age. Now, respect
now,
to
that was some real subtle, smooth.
With that respect to that
right
statement to my mom, she told me that at age 13. Didn't tell me what it meant. She just merely said that if you learn how to eat the triangle out with only your tongue, you will have a skill set that will take care of you later in life. She said no more. Now, mind you, I was a young boy. I took it as a joke. And I would cut grapefruit in half just to learn how to do that. Now, mind you, by the time I ran into this older woman, she saw that the fact that I had a skill set that she didn't see in men her age. At no time during this entire 1 year moment with this older woman did we ever have penetration.
Still a predator.
Now, mind you, I'm not saying she wasn't a predator,
I'm just gonna keep
but she ran
out.
into a young man who knew how to eat pussy. And like she said, she had never met a man up until she met me that was good at it.
Listen, so
I no lie, I took great pleasure in knowing that I could do that.
I know we've gotten a little far because like we just flow.
Not even a little, way off.
But what I really need. So it needs to be said, right? We talk about these young. I ain't gonna say necessarily all of them young, because some of them is a little older than they should be, but nobody has laid the foundation. Nobody has said, no, this is not sassy of a man. No, this is not him being broke. This is you having a scheming, poverty-minded way of thinking. That you think that your freaking box is some sort of end all be all, and it's not. And nobody has told y'all that your value is misplaced. You could have value, but you don't because you've misplaced it. And see, that's where it's frustrating and also sad. But nobody has yoked these. Where are the older women?
I think the problem with the older women is, and respect what you just said, because I think I saw that growing up early. When I grew up, there was a very distinct cut between the women I dated because I was a teenager.
Shout out to Jeff. I don't know if he's still on. Thank you for tuning in.
I have a, there was a very distinctive cut between women I dated in my teens, moms and grandmoms. Somewhere in between that, moms and grandmoms became the same age.
Yeah.
Like I would date a chick who was, say, let's just jokingly say, if I dated a chick who was 25,
right,
it was not unusual for me to see her mom in the same club scene.
Yeah,
on the same level as her. If she wore a miniskirt, mom wore a miniskirt.
Right.
If the chick wore a spank, for some reason, mom had a spank. If the chick wore certain kind of colors, the mom wore. So all of a sudden, it came between the age group that I dated and mom, because we always thought mom might be sexy, but we didn't dare venture into that arena.
Right.
And then I started seeing mom and daughter in the very same date group.
Yeah.
Like I could go to the club and see the daughter, and then at the bar, mom is like somehow moms took credit for saying, "Hey, my daughter is only 10 years younger than me." It wasn't a what's the word we usually use growing as a young person? It wasn't taboo,
right,
anymore. It used to be moms didn't mess with daughter's group,
right,
but now mom took great gratification in grabbing that young man. So if the daughter was dating somebody who was 25 and mom would say, let's just say 50, If she could pull a 25-year-old, she was cool with that. There wasn't no shame in it. And I guess that's where it comes funny at, because if I'm 15 years old and a 36-year-old pulled me in, as a boy, I'm looking at my like,
right,
y'all getting laid.
Y'all get applauded more.
Oh yeah,
amongst
my
y'all.
uncles gave me mad love for
Right.
sleeping with somebody who was 15 or 20 years older than me. There was nobody that was gonna go hunt her down because she slept with me.
Yeah,
Now, with the flip side of that,
I bet you
hold it.
Susan knew what you were doing.
With mad respect, if a 35-year-old man would encroach upon a 15-year-old girl, I had uncles that would have cut his, well,
Right.
respect, he just came up missing. Because you didn't mess with the sisters
Right.
of those men.
I remember messing with, I was 16, and because of the experiences that I had, I had to mature, I was forced to mature faster. So to me, my 16, I used to have a saying that I hadn't been 25 since I was 12. So
That's deep.
yeah, like I used to say that because that's where life had put me. So when I was 16, I'm like, yo, I'm on a 25-year-old level, if not beyond. And I was messing with a guy that was 24.
Ooh, that's crazy.
And I remember my mentor going, hey, and I remember he really pulled me. Shout out to Wayne.
Is that his name?
Wayne, yeah, he's been here. Wayne Copeland. With his 2 daughters.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which one had to come up missing though?
And say,
Okay.
And this is where lack of, I didn't have, he was a mentor. I didn't have that male figure in my life that had they found out, had my dad been living, I guarantee you that wouldn't have happened. Had my brother and I been close, first of all, had my brother been out of jail at that time, like he had the love and the protection for me, but he was in jail. Had he been home and close, that wouldn't happen. Had I had a different relationship with my grandfather, that wouldn't happen. But this is where I was. I was 16, dealing with a 24-year-old. And my mentor one day, and he's people. I'm sure he had been watching for a while, and he finally was like, "Look, I don't think this is a good idea." And I remember having this conversation with him. I'm like, we were outside of the rec spot, and I said, "Well, I ran down my mentor, right? Well, I've been through X, Y, and Z, and I feel as though, I'm mature I have been through some things already. So, and I was really kind of on my chill. Like, I wasn't just messing with this dude, I thought it was going to be going somewhere. Like, by this time, I had taken a turn, so I knew college was really in grasp, and I was going to be on that path. And I'm thinking, all right, cool. And he said, I remember him going, it's not your maturity level that concerns me. He's 24, about to be 25. What is it from his perspective? Why isn't he going after women his age and older?
Timmy, what year was that?
Oh, shucks. 98.
Okay,
97, 98.
So to the people who are out there who were born in that age bracket, here's what I would say. And I say that from the man position where I do not agree with him. So I'm 20, let's say I'm in my 20s.
But wait,
30s,
let me finish though.
And I run across you. Because, hold it, me and you have a unique moment that we can explain on. When I met you, you were how old?
19.
At 19, when I met you, what did I tell you?
First of all,
No, respect.
Yeah, but you still didn't let me. Yeah, but you still didn't let me finish though.
We're not talking about the any other.
You still didn't let.
But
you still didn't let me finish.
What's important on that though?
What, that you keep cutting me off and not letting me finish?
No, the point was that I told you at that point I knew you would be my wife.
Right, low hanging fruit.
But I also told you the guy that you're going to be waiting for is 10 to 11 years older than you.
What I'm trying to say, have you let me finish? What my mentor was saying, because he saw something that I didn't. He saw the group. He knew dude was a predator. And I missed the fact that he was a predator because I'm looking at it from my lens of maturity. Not only was he a predator, he had a fiance that I didn't find out about until 2 years later, my freshman year in college. And then when I confronted him, he punched me in my face. But that's a whole different story. He didn't necessarily. He didn't necessarily walk away unscathed because I am. But that's a whole nother. Yeah. So
it's not murder if you don't find the body.
So, but what I did not know was that not only did he have a chick, but he was also sniffing at younger girls, and that there was basically a spot where a whole bunch of other people used to be the crash house, I guess, and years later that it basically came out that he had gone after a 12-year-old. So I was kind of like the in-between. So from my mentor's standpoint, he saw a few other things that I didn't see. He didn't see hey, you know what? This is a solid 24-year-old. And yeah, it might be a little age difference. No, he saw danger that I didn't see. So that is my point with that particular. Was I of consenting age? Yes, I was, because I was 16.
I don't agree with that. See, here's my thing with that statement.
How you not agree with that?
Let me finish, because I understand what you said, and I'm not disagreeing with what you said. I think
What's up, Thomas?
I think there are two kind of men.
Your fellow Army and Mason just popped on.
I think there are two kind of men that you got to understand. There are men who prey on younger women because their success rate with women in their age bracket older is so piss poor. And I had no defense for them, nor do I wish to defend them. Mm. What I'm saying is there is also a certain group of men in that same bracket.
With a dude who you with, you already know.
That look at women that are younger than them. Because we look at women in our age bracket who come in so jaded and damaged that there really is no fixing them. Now, or hold it, let me finish that statement because I think this is a very important point. If I'm an older man, if I'm a man of equal age of that woman, and she has been through so many bad relationships, baby daddies, abusive men, they've been conned and swindled, used and abused, and then we meet them, and we meet them with pure heart. We're not coming in trying to use them. We're really looking for a genuine relationship that will lead to marriage. And then as we pour into these women, since they've been so damaged, it takes us so long before we realize they're irreparable. You can't fix them. Then we meet someone like yourself, and I understand our age difference at the time. Mm. I knew there was going to be a time frame that I needed to wait for you to catch up to me.
Right.
And that was cool because I realized until you had ran through, and when I say ran through, I don't mean that in a bad way. Until you had seen enough to realize, hey, the guy who's been waiting patiently needed me to go through that phase you spoke of only last week. By the time you accept the fact that we're really genuine, we're not out to use you, we're not here to play you.
Right. We're
really here to say, hey, listen, I understand I'm older than you. I have a vision. If you allow me into your life, we're not talking about sexual, because I think some people out there who are not necessarily understanding. The game is really not the sexual part.
Yeah,
it's to turn you into the sexual part is the easiest part for female women. The other parts that need to be nurtured is the
what I just said, the psychological attention.
Psychological is a big deal.
Competent psychological attention.
But psychological says, hey, I understand that most women mature faster than us. That's why you have the 5-10 year difference.
Right.
Because by the time we as men realize, hey, look, booty's easy.
Right.
I'm looking for the woman who says to me, honestly, when you come home,
right,
you have a safe place for you to be. And I'm not going to hold it against you if you take your body armor off. And when I say emotional body armor, every man has to wear a certain amount of armor to survive in the world outside of home. We have to be a little bit tougher. We're going up against peers. Some of us are alphas. Some of us are not. When we come home, we don't want to have to be the same dude we was outside being. We want to come home and we want a woman who looks at us and go, I see you. And that usually does not come from the woman who's in our age bracket. That woman in our age bracket has so many defenses up. She's been hit so many times by the immature user that she won't give genuine love to someone who is genuinely loving.
Mm. So, again, going back to where the game has really got fun. Now, and that was then. Now we're here.
I need you pay for everything on the first
right, like
I need you to pay my rent, my mortgage, my hair, my weave, and the nail, and I need to hear that you're willing to pay my rent.
And they're talking about, because they can look at those things and see the monetary value, so they think that what they're sitting on is equal, not realizing it's like, yo, you got the game fucked up. It is really absolutely fucked up. And it's like, where do you go? Where do you go from there?
Where can you go?
Where can you, like, legit, where can you go from there? Now, by the time, like I said, by the time I hit college, I was on my chill. Like, people thought I was...
Now, with that said, I need to understand, because I think this is a critical question I have to ask.
Okay.
When you said when you were done college, your age was at what?
When I was done college?
When you were done.
Like completely done or just done undergrad?
You're done college. You're free and clear of college. You're now officially degrees on the wall. Yep. Time for me to get into work.
I was 2 weeks from my 25th birthday.
Okay, now you're 25.
Mm-hmm.
At that point of 25, and what I ask is not to get too deep in your personal business. And I'm not talking about anything that happened without your consent. Let's take that off the board.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're 25. How many legitimate relationships had you had that you would say, this was my legitimate boyfriend at 25?
I didn't.
So, at age 25, you had not been in a relationship that was legitimately your choice.
So, literally, in the 6 years of college, I was with 3 people. And those 3 people that I was with, I thought one, because it was like legit, I ain't gonna lie, it was my bucket list. I wanted to have a legit one night stand where I turned the tables and literally left in the middle of the night. So I checked that off my bucket list. I did.
At 25?
No. That was actually the year I met you, about a month before I met you.
Okay, so now
I checked that off my bucket list just because I wanted to do it. But there were 2. One I actually went to school with. One I met on. Remember Black Planet, y'all? Remember shout out to Black Planet, when you had to know how to code to make your own stuff.
I knew nothing about Black Planet. Yeah. I was on deployment.
Yeah, you were. So I had met him on Black Planet. Another young man, he was going to DeVry, and it was like a cool vibe until I realized that he had no common sense. He was a good. I can't speak bad on the brother, But knowing me, I couldn't. He had absolutely no common sense, no situational awareness, and I just couldn't do it. Like it was, it was a cool physical thing, and we were trying. Like it wasn't just a physical thing. Like we were really trying to build. But the more I got to know him, the more I realized, yo, I can't do this long term because you legit have, for all the book smarts that you have, there's no street sense, there's no common sense, there's no, and I couldn't, and I had to cut it, and to my point, so I had kind of just let it fade to black. And it was a few months that went past, and he called me, and I answered. He's like, "Yo, I haven't heard from you." And I said, and I was just real. I said, "Look, we're not on the same vibe." And he said, "Yeah, well, I kind of messed up," and he had messed around and slept with some girl, and then caught herpes. And I said, "See, this is what right."
Not the herpes.
And I didn't back like I didn't. I didn't machine gun him down.
Well, let me keep it here. The reason why I didn't mess with a lot of women through those years was
and I said, and I remember the first encounter that we had. Now, I had called the shots. I had my own condoms.
So you were ahead.
I was.
He was really the one behind.
Right. I had my own condoms, and I remember when it got to that crucial moment, and I slid the condom out from underneath the pillow because I'm waiting for his moment, like, and I ain't seeing no condom, and I'm like, okay, so let me. He was like, true. I'm like, yeah, true. Now hindsight, I honestly, and I say this as funny as it sounds, I really do think that he may have been on the spectrum in a different way. I really do, looking back. Because the conversation that we had when he told me that he had gotten herpes from, and I said...
And so he disclosed you.
Yeah. Because we were cool.
But you were the lead at this point.
Huh?
You were the lead. You weren't the one being taken advantage of. In real time, you were the one taking advantage of. You were the predator.
How was I the predator?
Because he was far behind you mentally.
Well, I didn't know that at the time. But that's why I cut it off, because I'm like, yo, you don't have. I'm looking at it from, okay, you don't have the common sense that I need from someone. And then fast forward when I had stopped dealing, and he just called me just on a friend tip, and he's telling me about what happened. I said, and this is part of the reason why that we couldn't go any further, because you don't look at life the same way that I do. I said your situation could have been completely avoided, and he was like, yeah, you're right. Like,
but he was not knowledgeable. Like you said, when you realize that most women, respectively, and no disrespect to us as men, because I believe in my life I was always an alpha male.
And don't label me, don't call me a predator in this situation.
Oh,
but not because
I'm only saying this as predator, as in
no.
I think, in my opinion,
absolutely not.
You had all the advantages over him, and at some point, respectfully, had a older woman had groomed him. I'm gonna say groomed because I've caught the flack back from my good brother here. Like he said, groomed. Here's my thing about groomed.
But here's big game.
He had nobody to teach him.
He had two parents at home, which I.
Oh, stop! Parents are lackluster in teaching a man of this moment.
He had both parents.
No parent can teach you this.
Listen, to teach you how to use a condom that you should know better.
Condoms, you gotta
realize. This is what I'm talking about.
When my mom first introduced me to condoms.
This is not an 18-year-old I'm talking about.
No, I'm not talking about 18-year-old. My mom showed me a condom at at 12.
Right, but this
That was condiment.
You're making my
bananas.
point.
But then if a woman of older years says to me, "Hey, listen, this is the proper time."
No, this is not older years. We're the same age.
Not,
you should know better.
Age and mentality ain't the same.
But this
thing.
is my point of why I cut it.
You cut it.
Right.
He had no understanding of this.
Listen.
He's so far behind the curve if he's only dealt with women his age.
Look, all I know is that we were all taught at like 12 in the sex ed class that if you're gonna engage, you use condoms.
But it's not the same theory for men. Because we're already,
you can't have it both ways.
Hey, men are hold it.
No,
men,
you cannot have it both.
Men,
anyway, so to answer
men who are
stop.
not
Let me answer.
by
Let me finish
older
answering.
women
Stop.
are
Let me
10
finish
years
answering
behind.
the question. So I had two people in my span of my college career that I dealt with. One was a guy on campus, and I was really feeling him. You know, he was in a frat. I won't say what frat, but if you know, you know. And he was smart, but he was also he was not he was first generation American. His parents were African, and I knew the first time I met his parents. His dad was cool, but his mother was not feeling me because I was not African. And I thought we were moving in a cool. We had taken the time. By the time we had sex, I felt as though I knew enough of his character and like, yo, this could be like something cool until I came out of the sociology class one day and seen him booed up with the African chick. I'm like, oh, okay. And I played it cool. I said hello to the both of them. My best friend was with me, and she was like, yo. I said, nope. I'm cool. So those were the only two situations until the ex, the one truck driver, and that was
not me.
And that was that was after college, completely after college. And then the one right before you. So as far as, relationships, like I said, I was so guarded by the time I hit college because of everything I had already been through. I wasn't willing to, I didn't want to gamble. I just knew I couldn't lose. I could not afford to have anything happen to take me off of my path, to drop out of college, and to have anything. So I pretty much stayed to myself. I kept shit tight. I did because I was scared of losing. I knew that the shot that I had gotten to get in school was really a Hail Mary shot, and I didn't want to be. By this time, I had understood that I was my grandmother's last hope, and I had a very strong awareness of everything that had been lost, and that if I were to be lost at that point, that it would be devastating to my family, to my grandmother in particular.
But at this point, what you're saying is, and I was privileged to have met your grandmother. You're talking about a whole jump generation you were lucky to learn from,
right?
Which is more to my point I'm saying. Women mature so much faster than men. Mm. So when a woman and hold it, let me be clear, because I think some people might mistake what I'm saying. So let me clarify. Do I believe she was a predator when she groomed me? Yes.
Okay.
I'm not denying that.
All right.
And even in current statement in past age to my current age, yes, grooming. But you're talking about a woman who said to me, yeah, she might have been looking at it from very selfish reasons. I got a young boy who has no preconception on what it takes to truly, sexually, let me be very clear, sexually. I'm not talking about the rest of the maturity that it takes to become a man. I'm talking the sexually part. She took a very young boy and groomed him sexually in knowledge that served me well well into my 30s. That did not prepare me to be the protector, the provider,
Right.
the other aspects of manhood. She didn't give a fuck about. And I have no doubt, like she told me, her husband was upstairs asleep. He would come home from
and the husband was
respect. He would come home from a hard day's work.
Yo,
Your man worked 16 hours.
she wild business for that.
Respect though.
That's
like
wild
she didn't
business.
lie to me as a 16-year-old.
Like,
He
yo,
told it.
do
He
you
came-
understand? Wait. I just need to pause on this. I need to grab this psychological picture.
But grab it.
Do you know how fucked up you got to be in the head, not just to groom a 15-year-old boy for the original FaceTime?
Just a sex part.
Just for the original FaceTime, but to do it while your husband is home?
But see,
Yo,
when you're
that is some real gutter
when you're
snipe
15,
shit.
16-year-old.
That's some gutter snipe
You
shit.
don't understand if a man works a full day work, why he would come home and may not have the energy sexually to take care of you because you're young. Now I'm looking at it from a soon-to-be
She couldn't have found a
hold
25-year-old.
respect
I'm just
from
saying.
a perspective of a man who's about to encroach upon 55.
Aries season.
You work a whole full day work. You come home to a wife who is desirable, but you just really don't have the energy to sexually. Like if she just needed a quickie, you probably had that in you. But if she needed the whole emotional energy to get her off, at 55, which I'm pretty sure that poor man was.
Done said, especially when you 55, yeah, you ain't got the
Hey,
energy.
respect.
Listen.
Hey, listen, I'm not saying, hey, listen, let me keep clear.
No.
It's not that I don't have days where I have that energy to put that time in. But then you found a young man who is 15, 16, and all he has is sexual energy. Why? He goes to school for a few hours. He does his math, his sciences, his hold it.
Yo,
Whatever young energy you gotta put out for school don't equal to man energy of provide.
And I get that.
No,
the bitch could have found it in an 18, 19,
she
20,
couldn't. You know why?
22-year-old. She could have.
Time out.
Nah, she could have.
Let me answer that.
She could have.
When
because those young men.
I remember an 18-year-old as an 18-year-old version of me and a 16-year-old version of me. Now, it's only 2 years. Vastly different energies even then. Because at 16, all you want to be able to say is, I got laid.
First of all.
Hold it. All a young man
Chink
wants
would have gladly.
negative. All a man wants to say in his teens is he's no longer part of the group of boys that hasn't gotten laid yet. When you're a boy, and you're amongst other boys, and some of them boys, let's keep it 100%, because all the men I'm talking to know exactly what I'm saying. There were 10 boys in our circle who all claimed they'd been getting laid on the regular. And if you were one of the few who wasn't, just the fact that you were getting laid said, hey, I'm getting laid. Now, fast forward from 15, 16 to 18. Even at 18, when I was getting laid.
Okay.
I already knew I was getting laid because I had already had experience getting laid. Now, there was a larger group of boys who didn't get laid at all in that group who lied. Yo, I got laid just Friday. What happened? I had some pussy. When did you have? Hold it. Who'd you get the pussy from?
What's the point?
The point is this. And this is from a father who has daughters. I would very much would like my daughter not to tell me she got laid well into her relationship or marriage point. As a boy who has an adopted son who has nothing but love for that boy, if he had told me at 15, 16, 17, 18, he still had yet to get laid, I would almost have to look at him and go, what's wrong? Why haven't you found somebody to fuck yet? I don't want to hear that from my daughter, but I definitely would like to believe that my son.
All right.
Now, if my son comes to me and say, "Hey, Dad, I'm 15.
Right. You
and hold it,
deviated. Where was the link to the point from
Here's
earlier?
the point. And my son comes to me at 15, 16 and said he got laid by a 20-year-old. And that 20-year-old is hot. I am not necessarily pissed. Because I know that 20-year-old has taught my son something that another 15, 16-year-old couldn't have taught him. Flip side of that same game. If my 14, 15, 16-year-old daughter comes to me and says some 25-year-old, took advantage. I'm going to say took advantage.
Now see?
Oh yeah, that brother got to come up missing. The difference is this. I know if that 20-some-odd-year-old woman has taught my son something, every girl that he touches in his age group.
Okay, so peep game.
I'm peeping.
24-year-old taught me some things.
I'm on.
Now see, you can't have it both.
I can. Because there's a
Absolutely
different there's a different learning curve for men and women. Because if I'm a boy at age say 25, let's say I'm 20, and I sleep with if I sleep with a woman who is 20 years old, and she says, "Yo, that dick was trash," the chances of me getting laid again in her circle drops 50, 60, 70%. Because every woman that hears that, "Yo, that dick was trash," I'm not going. Hold it. I'm not getting another shot at this booty. I'm done. If your girlfriend, hold it. If I sleep with you and me and you are the same age, and you are woefully unsatisfied, and you tell every girl in that class that the dick he threw at you was trash, the chance of me getting laid again drops considerably.
Oh well, I guess you gotta wait till college now.
Waste totally. Dick was trash. Let's flip that same exact script. If I am exactly 18 and you are 18 because I was trained by a 33-year-old. If at 18 I lay with another 18-year-old girl and you tell all your friends, "Yo, he came by the house and tore this ass up," I will be getting laid for the next 3 to 5 years. Because every girl you tell them, like...
Wait, what'd you say? So knowing that you're... I don't know if some of the words got messed up, so I don't... So, Udon says, so knowing your... I don't know, you might have to type that again.
I think that, here's the thing. Women expect boys and young men to have some dick game. Listen, if you as a woman come in my room, there's no man in their 20s and teens go, "Yo, that pussy was trash." If a woman says the dick is trash, we are scarred from that point. Because now every woman we bump in that you know...
Okay, so that means it's okay for an older woman to fucking groom you?
I'm saying that the benefit... hold it.
The math ain't mathing.
No, the math is mathing on this.
Mm-mm.
Every woman I touch after that older woman groomed me, I was an expert at giving the dick. Which means I'm going to get more pussy. If a woman who's no man says the pussy is trash. He might say it quietly to himself, "Yo, she didn't do this or that." But we're not bitching because we want to be able to say we got laid. But as a woman, if I come into that same room and I lay the dick and you go,
all I know is this.
Dick is trash. I'm not getting laid again. I'm emotionally scarred.
So if we got a 16-year-old daughter and a 24-year-old come along.
He got a dog.
Wait, but we have a 16-year-old son and a 24-year-old come along.
I'm not necessarily.
Fuck that.
I'm not holding. But hold it. At least I'm not lying to you, and I know you. I've ever had the privilege, and I'm gonna say this: I had an adopted son who got laid by that older woman. When he came to me, there's a part of me that was angry that the older woman took advantage. But there's a part of me that took pride that older woman wanted my son back over the current husband she had.
Now, so Udon says, knowing you are your child's first and foremost educator, wouldn't you want the emotionally and intellectually prepared to make that decision to engage in sex rather than simply no longer being a virgin.
Here's where that statement is, and that's no disrespect.
And see, I
believe he has a unique perspective.
But my thing is, I think when you know better, you do better. Right?
If my son gets taught by a superior woman, how to satisfy other women.
No, stop. We're talking about.
I'm different.
No, we're talking about. We're talking about. You can be the educator to your son to say, hey, I know it's a badge of honor to get laid, but you got to be careful, X, Y, and Z. And I wouldn't. This is a conversation I've had with my nephews. You know, I don't have a son, but I have nephews that in varying stages because since I had kids so late, I was always that aunt. I'm still that aunt. To have real conversation. And I say, like, yo, I know you won't want to get laid, but also understand this perspective. And I lay game for, now they have parents. Their parents are in the home. Both parents are in the home. But I still have said, like, yo, if a woman is coming at you and she's this age, something is wrong with her. I'm not saying there's something wrong with you wanting to get laid. I'm saying it's something wrong with her from wanting to lay you.
Hold it. Time out. That's a point that I taught my son.
All I'm saying is that some of the conversation that you said tonight sounded like...
Hold it. Let me be clear.
Yeah. Clear that shit up.
Let me clear it up. As a father, what you said is exactly 100%.
You know, I need some ice.
When I have ice. Who would you like your ice? Let me clear that up.
Yeah, because
I think that's a very tight statement because as a father, and what I'm gonna say this is cold blooded, but I'm almost 55 and I'm an Aries, and it's Aries season. So here it is. My son walks into the room. Now I've been telling him this moment is going to happen to him literally since age 12, 13. The first day he wakes up. Not that
you went biblical, Udon.
Let me keep it 100. My son comes to me at age. I've been teaching my son as early as I can that one day he's going to run into a woman that he may have to break down sexually on. And I warned him of all the downside of that moment. I didn't lie to him about the condoms. I told him about don't believe her truth. I'm telling him, hey, all the things he could do to prevent the life-changing moment of the woman saying two things. One, I have a disease, or two, I'm pregnant. These are the two things that fathers instantly instill upon themselves, their sons early.
What's the time check? Because I'm
gonna tell you what the time check is. It is 11:54.
Man.
But here you go. Here's the 100% thing as a father. So now I've been warning him since day one. Wrap it up. Safe sex. Don't want to catch shit. Don't want to make babies. He finally comes to me and said, "Hey, Daddy, I'm 15 years old, 16, 17. I ran into this chick who's 22, 23, 25, and she has allowed me access to the booty." Part of me as a father says, "Hooah, glad you finally got laid. It was going to happen eventually. Hopefully you did wrap it up. You didn't catch a disease and you didn't make her pregnant. Hopefully that woman has taught you some secrets to sexuality that no father can teach his son, no matter how close me and son is. I can never tell my son, hey, slow your stroke down. Don't speed up here. Don't nut there." None of that shit that as fathers we would like to tell our sons. We do. Hey, son, if you find a girl your age that wants to sleep with you, make sure you wrap it up. Why? Let's keep it 100. We have enough wisdom to realize what we don't want to hear is two things. One, Daddy, I think I caught something. Two, Dad, she's pregnant. And yes, that's the only things we're worried about as fathers on sons. The flip side is, and I speak from the other flip side, as a father with daughters, I don't want my daughter to come home and say some 23, 24, 25-year-old knocked her up or gave her some kind of disease. It sounds equally, but we both know there's the same and equal consequences. My son tells me a 23-year-old has taught him how to eat pussy, how to get laid, how to please a woman. Quietly as men, as fathers, we go, yo, my son is laying pipe and pleasing women. There's a certain amount of pride that comes to that. Hold it, let me finish.
Until it's your daughter.
Hold it, let me finish. Because I'm speaking for both sides. Because I think as a father who has an adopted son and daughters, I can speak from both.
Look, I
have
to pee. So.
I gotta pee too. If my daughter comes home to me and says, Daddy, I'm pregnant and or have a disease, I am furious he gotta die.
Look.
My son comes home with this. Oh, listen, we have now reached.
For real. Because
we have now, mad respect. We have now reached 11:57.
This is the longest.
We got a chime off.
Yeah.
Thank you for visiting us on Smoking Ash. Mad love to 69 because he got a P too.
Yo.
And hold it. One of the best third parties of our show. Thank you for watching Smoking Ash.
Yo, thanks for everybody that tuned in.
Shout out to
Noble,
our
Alpha, Thomas, Army. Thank you.
Hooah. Mad love to 69 Marine. Hooah.
Listen.
Mad love to the Bob who just reached out. One of the only brothers I've ever met that makes me think I'm not lifting hard enough. Just to end Smoking Ash.
We are going to be here next Saturday, 10 o'clock. It's Horny Tone's birthday party, so this is going to be extra lit.
Whether
I'm
you at
warning
the
you
party
now.
or you just chime in, please remember, you are what makes this show worthwhile.
Yo, like seriously.
Whether it is tens of people or tens of thousands of people, thank y'all for chiming in. It's the end of Smoking Ash. I finished my Cohiba for the night. I got nothing left. I'm at literally.
I didn't finish my.
I burned through a quarter bottle of Jack Daniel's Apple, and and if it ain't for Smoking Ash, we ain't hearing your story. Thank y'all for very much chiming in.
Look, we're
69.
We're fire and air, and we are out.
We appreciate you expanding our show because guess what? Your thoughts definitely make this show work. Smoking Ash is out. We are now at that almost 12 o'clock era.
Yeah.
I can't go lay my wife because I want to see what's on the Discovery Zone. Smoking Ash. E.L. Berkeley. Check her books out. Horny Tone. Keep me on point. We out. Smoking Ash. I'm going to finish this cigar. Finish this bottle.
And I'm going to go pee. Peace out, y'all.
And yo, I'm going to wet the yard.
Good
Smoking
night.
Ash. Good night.
Woo woo.